This is getting better and better.
And you're listening to another Evolve Short. So, hey, Miles, today's topic is...
No.
What?
I got this. I got today's topic.
What's that? Are you interrupting again?
Yeah, I'm interrupting you because I think
All
you're
right.
gonna love this. You're gonna love this topic because
All right,
it's something that
what do
you're
you got for
concerned
me?
with, pet peeve of yours, and we're gonna talk about. I want you to talk about exercise progressions. Okay.
Okay.
People get stuck all the time. You working in fitness. You watch people do the same thing over time, not knowing how to challenge the muscle and then progress the muscle. They just keep doing the same thing, and they wonder why they're not growing or they're not adapting. And I know this has been a big topic of yours. So I would like you to talk about exercise progressions.
Yeah, so this is something you and I have talked about, and I think that my pet peeve isn't necessarily with people. So let me just get that out of the way. Like, I'm not angry or upset at people that are trying their best. What I'm upset at is every bullshit quote unquote trainer or Instagram influencer that's telling people to do something, and it's literally confusing the hell out of them. Now, so I want to break it down for our listeners, because if you're not changing with your body, so you want to change your body composition, let's say you want to build a little bit more muscle, which for men, they say, well, yeah, of course I do. I want to get bigger. I want to, have bigger muscles. For women, they say, oh, I just want to be toned. It's the same thing. You build muscle, which creates a density. It creates the shape to the muscle. That's what you're looking for. Doesn't matter. So for the women out there that say, but I don't want to get big, great. You're not going to. You're just going to build density, and you're going to develop some tone and shape to the muscle. So one of the most important things is progression in your training program. So you don't have to have an extremely complicated training program. Let's say, for instance, that you are doing squats or deadlifts. In your squat program or in your squat exercise, you've got it scheduled to do 4 sets of 10 repetitions. Now, you get underneath the bar, you start doing it, and you're fairly consistent, 4 sets of 10 repetitions at maybe 100 pounds. And so what do you do the next week? Well, ideally, you're progressing. Now, you're not going to progress every single workout, so let's just get that out of the way. There's going to be some workouts where you'll get better, somewhere where you won't, but in general, you want to see a progression. Here's a simple solution for you, though. The next week, if you did 4 sets of 10 repetitions at 100 pounds, you got 2 options. Option A is you drop the repetitions down to 8 or 6, but you raise the weight by 5 to 10 pounds. Okay. Right. So 4 sets of 6 to 8 repetitions with 105 or 110 rather than 100 pounds that you did the week before. Now, I'm going to pause right here and say, if this is something like a biceps curl, where you're utilizing mainly one joint rather than multiple joints, the weight increase should be very, very minimal. So instead of going up from a 10 to a 20 pound dumbbell, you might go from a 10 to a 12.5. Okay, right. So if you're going to increase weight, then lower the reps down. Now, if you've done that, the next week, so we're talking about week 3 now, if you're following me here. Week 3, you're working with 105 to 110 pounds. And if you did 6 repetitions the week before, you're trying to do 7, or you're trying to do 8.
Right.
You keep going on that progression until you get up to 4 sets of 10 again. And then you can follow the same process, increase the weight, bring the reps down. Now, that's option A, right? Option B is if you want to increase the repetitions first, you keep the 100 pounds, but you push yourself to 11 reps or you push yourself to 12 reps. Now, do you need to get 11 reps on all 4 sets? No, maybe just the first one, maybe the second one. What happens over time, so this doesn't happen all at once, but what happens over time in 2, 3, or 4 months, you're going to notice the compounding effect. You will get stronger. You're going to develop better shape to the muscles. And guess what happens? You don't get injured. because you're not going in there and lifting weights that your body can't handle. What a
Right.
lot of people don't realize, and I know you know this, Miles, that the muscle responds quicker and can recover quicker than the other soft tissues. So the ligaments and the tendons take a longer period of time to recover than a muscle does. And so by doing this progressive method, you actually will recover quicker. Now, is it the cool, crazy, sexy program that you spent $50 from your Instagram influencer on? No, but it's the one that's going to get you results over time.
Yeah. And do you want to talk a little bit about stability through this? Oftentimes, when you see somebody having trouble stabilizing when they're lifting,
Yeah,
and instead of dialing down the weight as part of the program so that the joints can become more stable, and they
right.
just totally ignore that and they still keep going up in weight, even though they haven't mastered the stability yet. You want to talk a little about that?
Yeah, so I think the most important thing to remember is you want to have technically perfect form on everything you're doing. So let's
Right,
say that
right,
I'm doing a bench press. And in that bench press, like you're talking about, if I'm not extremely stable in my shoulder joints, maybe the right arm is coming up quicker than the left arm. Well, I don't have balance. I don't have stability in that. And so I don't want to push a progression that's going to take me out of technical form. So as soon as I get to a rep, let's say that I'm doing 6 reps and the 7th rep, I start to waver a little bit. I end right there because that means that my nervous system can't handle.
right.
There's something going on, right? There's some muscle in the shoulder joint. There's something going on with my pec that's been where it's deactivated. It can't go anymore on the left side, and the right side can. That's okay. That's the perfect time to stop. And so if you notice yourself wobbling or something feels off, or let's say that you can't go as deep on the squat, that's your time to stop. There's
Right.
no benefit to pushing beyond that. The adage of no pain, no gain has no benefit when the pain causes you to be out of appropriate form. You're not going to get great results. And a lot of people I've heard, and I know you've heard this too, but people say, well, 80 to 90% of your results is in the kitchen. And that's just simply not true. You need to eat a balanced nutrition program in order to get great results.
Right.
But if you're not training well, it doesn't matter what you're eating in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You can go in and curl with 15-pound dumbbells and never get results. You
Yeah.
learn how to train the right way, learn how to progress, and your training will be one of the most important things. In fact, who was I believe is Eric Helms in his book, The Muscle and Strength Pyramid. He goes through this entire book talking about nutrition. And at the end of the book, he says, none of this matters if you're not training correctly. And so learn how to train correctly. And I've actually seen that in my over 2 decades in health and fitness and in coaching people that even if you've got a dialed in nutrition plan, your training is crucial. So you've got to
Yeah.
learn how to move appropriately and how to progress your body the right way. Well, and there you have it, our evolutionary listeners. We've got another Evolve short in the book. Miles, thanks for turning the tables on me today.
Yeah, I
That was
wanted to
fun to
flip it on
do.
you.
Yeah, appreciate that. Because you're right, that has been something that's been on my mind. And hey, folks, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at evolve_cast. Join the Evolve community by going to evolve-cast.com and pick up our Evolve Your Soul shirt. Like this episode, life is short, and now it's time for you to get out there and evolve.
And Eva.